Welcome to today's Conversational Hypnosis Masterclass, or how to turn multiple sessions into session. Today we will discover the ACH strategy guide, or how to add speed to your client's breakthrough in therapy. Then we will discover how unconscious problems manifest and become conscious conclusions and symptoms. And we will go through the ACH training and mentoring program. Why advanced conversational hypnosis? Well, I found myself questioning the conventional guidelines surrounding hypnotherapy and to building successful therapy business. These widely accepted principles, advocated by numerous experts, seemed to lack concrete results. It compelled me to seek a different perspective, one that challenged the status quo, provoking deeper thought and exploration. It's fascinating how often people unquestioningly accept what they hear without scrutinizing the actual outcomes. And while I could perceive these discrepancies, I couldn't help but wonder why others didn't notice them and why there was such a lack of inquiry into these matters. The deeper I delved into those things, the more they began to unravel. With each closer examination, the flaws in these rigid rules became obvious. It dawned on me that they were just people's opinion perpetuated by trainers, gurus, and so-called experts. As we dive into today's videos, keep this in mind as I unveil what I've uncovered. I won't be repeating you vague concepts like heal your inner child, overcome abundance block, or manifest your dream life, nor will I offer cliches such as the more authentic you are, the more clients you'll attract. Instead, I've reinvented my approach, focusing on observable results and concrete facts rather than abstract theories, mindset buzzwords, or guesswork. I started to see a better path, and I thought, whoa, this path looks better, easier, more fun, and actually makes sense. And by the end of this video, I guarantee you everything will look different and you will never be able to go back. Cause and effect in the old business model. We're looking at an hourly model, and we talk about mindset a lot. We sell sessions and packages, and we don't need or use social media and marketing as much. We still hand out business cards, flyers, posters, and we give free sessions or we exchange them. We have masters in everything, and we work smarter but not harder, and we don't niche. We offer low prices, and here you just have to do the math in your own business. Let's now look at the cause and effect in traditional hypnotherapy. We use scripts and specific techniques to solve specific problems, and we prepare, which is much more symptom-oriented rather than root cause. Then we use hypnotic suggestions, language patterns, confusion techniques, and this is too much to remember, this is heavy, and on top of that, these only are own-made suggestions. We give homework and audios to our clients, but once again, this is too much to organize, too much time to prepare, and on top of that, clients don't even listen to them. We give multiple sessions, packages, and here the results are taking too long because we are only dealing with the symptom session after session. We build a report, we have a pre-talk, we use suggestibility tests, deepeners, and relaxation techniques. And here we focus too much on the fluff, too much on the tool rather on what actually matters, which is the therapy itself, rather than hypnosis. And then we talk about what hypnosis is and is not, and so on. But this is time consuming. It takes much time onto the session. We talk too much and the client don't even understand what we are talking about because they don't come from that industry. We as coaches, hypnotherapists, therapists, and NLPs know that all problems exist in a client's unconscious mind. So how can we even prepare for anything? How can you write a script? How can you apply X, Y, and Z technique to a problem that is yet to be explored? Therefore, it stands to reason that if a client's problem exists there, which is inaccessible by the conscious mind, when a client presents a problem to us, they are only using conscious rationalization and conclusion to give us their best guess of what their problem is. Essentially, they are going to describe what they are feeling, sensing, and experiencing because of this problem that they have no access to. Meaning that when a client asks for help and we ask what their problem is, this client will give us nothing but conscious venting, conscious emotions, conscious instructions, feelings, non-associated information, conclusion, guesses, assumption, examples, and so on. Then, the more traditional therapist takes all this conscious information that are symptoms, conclusion, guess, and formulates scripts, techniques, and strategies on their own assumption as to the best way to help this client. Now, you have a client who has given us their best guess about a problem, which they have absolutely no idea about what it really is, or information about what it is. And the therapist that is taking that symptomatic information and attaching therapeutic strategy to it based on their own guess. In layman's terms, you have a therapist solving the symptom session after session after session, based upon conclusions that were taught to them and techniques that are said to solve these problems, that are stop smoking scripts, timeline suggestions, or all conclusions such as all problems are from childhood trauma. So what is the answer? Well, let me show you. Unconscious to conscious conclusions and symptoms. Let's look at what's happening in the market right now. So we can see experts in our industry advertising their programs and saying, hey, join my Abundance Blocks program and grow a widely profitable business, all by changing your mindset. But if you look closely, those same experts use Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Instagram ads, and so on. They rely on sales team, KPIs. They use script and research-based evidence. They use heavily social media. They use funnels, sales pages, lead pages, joint ventures, collaboration, upsells, downsales. They use strategy calls. They organize seminars, events, webinars, and they grow a monetized YouTube channel. So if mindset was the only thing, couldn't this expert just use these tools to attract clients without marketing them? Keep in mind that when a client tells us about their problem, all they can tell us is their best guess. They're giving us the symptoms they're experiencing, their guess, conclusions, their best description and experience of the problem. But now we want to use techniques, and we may find resistance. We use scripts, which is more symptom-orientated rather than root cause. We use timelines, regression, which is more of a guess. Then we use visualizations, but sometimes people just can't visualize. And we use suggestions that are our own made suggestions rather than the client's inner wisdom. We have a client that says, I want to quit smoking. And a therapist that says, cool, I've got a script for that. And then they go and find within their toolbox pre-written stop smoking scripts that will help with that because it's full of suggestions, metaphor, and images. And they go and find their timeline and regressions because, all problems come down childhood trauma. But the best is their favorite metaphor and suggestions that will help with that because it just sounds right to them. So let's have a look at a stop smoking basic script or any symptom script. It's full of stop smoking stories, stop smoking images, stop smoking metaphors, stop smoking ideas, stop smoking suggestions, and the worst could still be to download stop smoking scripts written by someone who knows nothing about your client's problem. Advanced scripts which have advanced techniques, all fixing the symptom of smoking. And session after session, fixing the same symptom over and over and over again. So remember that when a client tells us about their problem, all they can talk about is their best guess. So some of the conclusions that we may hear within the industry would be that, All problems come from anxiety, or all problems derive from childhood trauma. All problems are from not feeling worthy. All problems are from abundance block, mindset. All problems are from anger, fear, jealousy, whatever. And now we are guessing just like our clients. So we have a client that gives us symptom, conclusion, and guess, and we start fixing the symptom based on guessing and without proper investigation. When we need to look at the real problem, and that can only be found by investigating the problem without conclusions and guessing. Remember that we cannot fix it until we know what it is about. And for that, we need to investigate the problem, to look for unconscious information versus conscious information, and to isolate the context of the problem and look for knots. Here's an introduction to conversational hypnosis. To understand this style, you cannot think in the traditional therapy ways. If you are experiencing problems with the traditional stuff, such as speed, unsure of what to do, clients not getting breakthrough, multiple sessions, preparation, writing, buying, or downloading scripts, you must think differently and drop all those old things to understand this. A lot of this conversational hypnosis style is based on how you think about the whole thing we call hypnosis to create a deeper perception of what is going on with your clients, to understand their mindset about their problem and why they are stuck. Not understand what you should do about it or how to solve it, which is more technique thinking. What you must think is, what does a client need to think in order for them to change the relationship to their problem? It is not about what I can say or what I can think or what I can do. It's what they need to think. Therapy has nothing to do with you as the practitioner, as it's your client's problem. My only goal with every client is to understand the perception they have to their problem, the conclusions they have made, and find the knots in this conclusion. To find the flow, because all conclusions have a flow in them. Thus, freeing my clients from all the knots they are caught in. Let's have a closer look to conversational hypnosis, shall we? Advanced conversational hypnosis principles. First, completely detach from how hypnosis should look, sound, detach from any outcome, solving a client's problem, detach from the size of the problem or the category of the problem, detach from caring about your clients and prearrange techniques and scripts. Detach from conclusions to where all problems come from, or even how breakthrough should look like or sound like. When a client can no longer perceive the problem in the same way and has choice in their thinking in relation to the problem, then that's when the problem does not exist anymore. Secondly, if you feel pressure, it means that you are trying to do something specific. You are trying to solve the problem. 3. Do not separate problems into categories of size or intensity. Still, however, work inside your means and scope. 4. Regardless of the problem, start in the same place. Slow down to speed up. Because if you rush any part of the intervention, you will slow it down. 5. There are no wrong questions. All roads lead to Rome. Ask questions with the least amount of words and no solution based. Ask a question no one else will ask. 6. Forget about single sessions, multiple or length of time. Treat real problems versus the symptom and do not prepare for anything. How could you? 7. All clients find their own solution and choice, and your goal is to lead them there through trance. 8. Clients do not have to go into trance or have a massive breakthrough on the spot. So do not go looking for something specific. All clients go into trance in their own way and have a breakthrough in their own way. 9. Processing time and integration time. These are the natural unconscious emerging phenomena, the aha moments that turn into a solution. And 10, hypnosis trance becomes the icing on the cake. The therapy and tying the knots, unconscious moments are what creates breakthrough. The investigation phase. The purpose of the investigation is to understand what the problem really is. In doing so, you will be asking investigation questions that force your client to retrieve unconscious and known information. And the very fact of doing this allows for trance, unconscious moments, knots, and conflicting realities to present themselves. Each knot that is untied slowly breaks down the overall problem and frees your client from this negative position, thus allowing them to connect to new choice. The investigation should meet your client at their problem, not your technique. And these questions create momentum in the problem and make it more malleable, so it's easier to nudge a client away from the problem and into a solution. Solution-based questions should never be asked. Instead, they should dig into the problem. And our goal is to take our clients everywhere their problem is not and allow them to choose the best solution for themselves, which are unlimited solutions. Remember that there are no wrong questions. The only important thing about each question is the response you get. And each question will nudge your client away from the problem, making it malleable. There are only two types of response. Conscious information, if so, ask another question about something else, and unconscious information with an unconscious moment attached to it. Question their response and keep following that direction to reveal more unconscious moments. With enough unconscious information, you will start untying the knots and causing a deeper trance. The type of question you can ask: what, which are towards something specific; when, which is more time frame and location; who, that is the relation to the problem; why, it's gonna more question about their reality and give excuses more than anything else; and how, which gonna be the effect. The timeline of an advanced conversational hypnosis session is pretty much simpler than any other traditional hypnotherapy style because we removed all the fluff to simplify the method in order to focus on the therapy rather than the protocol. So the first phase is the investigation, as we discovered just previously, which will reveal, secondly, the knots, unconscious moments, and conflicts of our client, which will lead to the therapy, trance, insight, metaphors coming from your client, silence, and process instruction. Then we will test every insight. As you're feeling X, think about the problem and see what comes up. Then we repeat all those steps until we untie all the knots. And we test the new insight and the whole problem. 7, we have the demarcation to clearly cut the session so that our client is not suggestible to any other suggestions outside of the therapy session. And finally, we give them the integration speech explaining what will come up for them, how things are going to unravel, and we'd rather give them sleep tasking. Now, if you'd like to optimize work and therapeutic processes to simplify therapy and focus on what really matters, that you don't even want to have to prepare for a session ever again, that you do not want to waste time in preparing scripts and finding the best technique which will only solve the symptom. If you do not want to ever use ever again language patterns, coaching methods, or even timelines, regression, visualization, or on-made suggestions, then I highly invite you to check out the link below to see the next Conversational Hypnosis live training, which will be a 2-day event live on Zoom. Thank you for watching.